No.
Good morning, Mandy.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm good.
Wait a couple more minutes. Glad to see you two or see your names and hear your lovely voices. Have you been having a good week so far? I guess it's just the second day.
So far, so good.
That's good. Yeah, finally this midterm stuff is starting to calm down a little bit, isn't it? It's always a very difficult time of the semester.
Stressful.
Yeah, it is. As much as I plan for it to not be stressful, it still is. Either of you have any questions or comments just about the meditation course, how it's been going for you, or any questions you might have?
No, not me.
Okay.
I don't have any questions yet.
Okay, great. So nice to see the sun. We had such a rainy week last week. Now we can take walks around and look at all the leaves that are changing colors, huh? Really start to enjoy the autumn. I'm gonna wait just about 2 more minutes before I start a recording, just in case other people might want to show up. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. It's 9:34. I can deal with 1 minute. I don't want you all to be falling asleep while we're waiting.
Recording in progress.
Okay, so welcome everybody. Today we're going to talk a little bit more about mindfulness, which I introduced at the beginning, well, not at the beginning, but a few weeks ago, and also the concept of compassion in meditation. In many of the meditation practices that we have been doing, there has been a focus on the self and the feelings of the self, the meditator. In compassionate meditation, we try to think about the world as a whole, about those who are suffering, and often we include those that we may have some ill feelings towards. And so forgiveness is a big part of compassionate meditation. I'm going to go ahead and share the screen so I can go through some of the resources that we have before we get into our meditating for today. And feel free, of course, to unmute yourself if you have any questions, and let me know. Also, if you do not see the screen that I'm sharing, make sure that you do. I was in a meeting yesterday, and the person who was running the meeting thought that she was screen sharing, and she wasn't. So I'm seeing both my desktop and your name. So if you're not seeing that, just let me know. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and minimize this a little bit so I can open this a bit. Okay, great. So the Dalai Lama is the spiritual leader of Tibet, and he has written a great deal about compassion. Compassion is that unattached love that we try to engender for all beings and all things in the world. It's very difficult sometimes to feel compassion because our emotions and our experiences get in the way, and we feel hurt by people, by circumstances. We feel resentful, we feel jealous, and we just often will feel just feelings of immense grief that will make it very difficult for us to get beyond our emotions. But this wonderful quote from the Dalai Lama says, if you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion. So I'm going to actually come back to you all for just a second and ask you what your idea of compassion is. Would you say a few words? When someone says compassion, what does that mean to you, Kesha?
Being sympathetic to others, caring for others.
Okay, yeah, good. Mandy, how about you?
Same, and then same idea as Kesha, and maybe like happiness with also, because you'll be caring for others.
Okay, yeah. And so that happiness occurs because of those feelings of care. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Great. So yeah, it's easier, to feel compassion for someone if we are caring for them. And that caring can be actively caring, like if we are a caregiver helping someone who is ill, or someone who is aged, or someone who is young. When we care for our children, we can't help but love them. And vice versa, if someone cares for you and does acts of caring, like feeding, holding, guiding, protecting, those kinds of activities will end up engendering feelings of care and feelings of love. So I want to see if we can go to this here. This positive psychology website is great because it talks a little bit, Oh, and here, if you want to go to this website and download your 3 mindfulness exercises pack, I would encourage, because they're pretty good as far as mindfulness goes. So what is compassion meditation? Okay, it is defined as deep, genuine sympathy for those who are suffering, together with the desire to help alleviate the suffering. There's always suffering in the world, and with our immense connection to the happenings of the world, particularly through social media and the internet, we are very, very aware of the suffering of people outside of our personal sphere of existence. So we can sometimes feel very overwhelmed, with those feelings of wanting to help. One of the things that we can do is to practice compassion meditation. We use this to dissolve self-centeredness and isolation, and to cultivate compassion by realizing we are not alone in our experience of suffering. So compassion meditation focuses awareness upon alleviation of the suffering of all sentient beings. So sentient, I don't, want to, insult you if you know what that means, but some people might be a little bit unclear. Sentient means to be conscious. So conscious beings. Now, at one time, it was thought that humans were the only sentient beings. Now our awareness as a result of science and biology and studies of the behavior of animals leads us to believe that animals are sentient beings as well, that they seem to be able to experience feelings and even emotions. And more recent scientific evidence has proven that plants, particularly trees, have been studied that also exhibit a sense of compassion. In a grove of trees, if there is a tree that is ill, often the other trees will send through the root system, or sometimes through the mushroom systems, nutrients to those trees that are suffering. So compassion is a universal feeling. It's deeply rooted in Buddhist philosophy and guides participants towards compassionate thoughts. It's sometimes used interchangeably with loving kindness meditation. And loving kindness meditation helps develop the mental habit of selfless or altruistic love, encouraging the meditator to understand and accept both themselves and others. So when we are working with compassion meditation or with loving kindness meditation, it's important to always begin with ourselves. Compassion for others begins with kindness to ourselves. And so when we sit to meditate, we often will use a script that includes these simple and concise but very powerful words. May I be happy. May I be peaceful. May I be free from suffering. So that is almost like a mantra that you can use. And personally, I have used this to great beneficial effect in those times when I sit to meditate and it's very difficult for me to overcome my own sorrow, my own grief, or the people in my family who are feeling illness or grief. So, but if you start with yourself, and it's kind of a request to the universe, may I be happy, may I be peaceful, may I be free from suffering. That can be a doorway into allowing yourself to open that compassionate love that you may feel. So like all of these meditation techniques, there are guidelines, but there are no rules. So I really hope that you can kind of personalize it. This can give you some guidance. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be safe from inner and outer dangers. That's a good one. There seems to be more and more in the world that seems as though it can be dangerous. One thing I do want to add at this time is that we tend to feel that we're being bombarded by news that indicates that the world is becoming scarier and more dangerous all the time. It's always really scary and really dangerous. But the fact that there are so many more people and we are so many more interconnected, we are aware of that danger and of those insecurities that we can feel. The inner dangers being not only our sense of dissatisfaction, our sense of depression, our sense of resentment, but also things like disease. We have been spending so many months now being so fearful of this, of COVID-19. And, some of you who are watching this have contracted it or have family members who have contracted it, and sadly, some of you may have lost family members or friends to it. There are also other diseases. There's things like cancer. There's just accidents that occur. So the world is a dangerous place, and the more that we live in it, the longer that we live, the more that we are aware of those dangers. We cannot be frozen into inaction by our fears. So simply repeating to yourself, may I be safe from inner and outer dangers. May I be well in body and mind. May I be at ease and happy. May I walk in peace. You can find your own script, or you can simply use this script or something else. So the second stage in a loving kindness or a compassion meditation is to send loving kindness to your loved ones. It's great if you can even picture those loved ones. Imagine them sitting in front of you, and then you are saying to them, may you be happy, may you be peaceful, may you be free from suffering. Having a visualization can be really very helpful to make these feelings even more manifest. Then the next step is to send loving kindness to neutral people, an acquaintance, somebody you don't know very well, maybe the clerk at your convenience store, maybe your neighbor that you only see when you're taking out the trash, maybe somebody that you see when you're on your walks, your bus driver, etc. But sending them loving kindness can, again, engender more feeling in yourself. So send those wishes to that person. Then the next step is to think of a difficult person. We all have people who we have difficulties with. Sometimes we live with them. Sometimes people that we love the most, we have some of the most complicated and difficult feelings for. Sometimes we work with people, and it seems like they are nothing but difficulties for us. So if you can send loving kindness to a difficult person in your life, that can, although difficult, it opens up a different space in your heart. So Tonglen meditation is a Buddhist meditation that comes from the word Tonglen. It's Tibetan for giving and taking, or sending and receiving. The Buddhist monk PEMA, who we will be meditating with today via a video, is a wonderful meditation teacher. And she says, Tonglen is a method for overcoming our fear of suffering and for dissolving the tightness of our hearts. Primarily, it's a method for awakening the compassion that is inherent in all of us, no matter how cruel or cold we may seem to be. That cruelness and that coldness is a defense. I do believe that all of us wish to dwell in a place of love and compassion, but the distractions of the world will awaken our defenses and sometimes seemingly force us into feeling these negative feelings. So this article goes on to cite some studies about different types of meditation and the brain, which we talked about earlier in the term. It's always great to review those because you hear it, you take a test on it, and then you're like, okay, got that. But then you go on and you're meditating, and sometimes, we're more than halfway through the term now. So sometimes it feels like, oh, why do I have to keep doing this? It's not really doing any good. Well, it is. It's doing immense good internally. So there are benefits of a compassion-based meditation practice. The most obvious is that it will cultivate love. It will cultivate empathy. Now, empathy is different than sympathy. Sympathy is feeling sorry for someone. feeling sad that they have this circumstance. Empathy is allowing ourselves to connect so much to that person's pain that we feel a sense of the pain as well, or the joy. You can also be empathic towards people's joy. So if we can cultivate benevolence, that is really great. Okay. We can better our relationships. We can increase our capacity for forgiveness. We all will have conflicts with people that we love, people that we work with, people that we are encountering throughout the day. But if we allow those conflicts to stay in our conscious mind and go over them and over them and over them, it's going to be much harder to forgive them. So if you can get in the habit of allowing forgiveness to happen, that can increase our connection to others, and also it's going to decrease anger and bias towards ourselves and towards others. Compassion meditation has been proven to reduce symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder, as well as negative symptoms in those with schizophrenia spectrum disorders. It can decrease our sense of depression and our sense of stress. Of course, like all meditations, it can quiet the mind. The idea of compassion meditation, again, is having a focus on particular people, particular groups of people. Meditation in general has been shown to alleviate chronic pain. So when we are practicing, it's important to expect nothing in return, that we are doing our meditation as an offering and just allowing the energy that we are moving into the universe to do its work. Yeah, feel free to read through the rest of this. Here's a couple of scripts that you can use. We're going to listen to guided meditations that, again, because they are on the D2L page, that you can feel free to listen to them as many times as you would like. But if you feel like you want to download these scripts and maybe record it to yourself so that you have your own voice telling you what to do, that is a wonderful thing to do. The compassion Buddha mantra is Om Mani Padme Hum. Okay, the jewel is in the lotus is the particular meaning of it. Okay, also Loka Samasta Sukhina Bhanavantu is another compassion or loving kindness mantra, which translates to, may all beings everywhere be happy and free. May the thoughts, words, and actions of my own life contribute in some way to that happiness and to that freedom for all. There are wonderful mantras, and wonderful scripts that you can use. But let's go ahead and get started. So here's, I listed some of the things that we just went through. So I have several meditations on D2L this week. In our Zoom class, we're going to do the loving kindness meditation to develop mindfulness and compassion. You can feel free to do the meditation for college students on your own. And then I wanted to listen to PEMA with you in her guided meditation to increase mindfulness, awareness, calm abiding, and special insight. This is about a 40-minute meditation video. Also, if you liked PEMA she does lead us in a Tonglen meditation as well. So let's go ahead and do some stretching. Once again, I read someone's post for their meditation reflections, and people were talking about the importance of stretching. And particularly in the morning, I mean, maybe you've been up since 6 o'clock, maybe you went running, et cetera, you know, but it's a good idea to go ahead and do a little bit of stretching, you know, before you decide to sit still for a length of time. And these are a little bit longer meditations. So go ahead and stand up and let's go ahead and do myself. You guys just go here. Here we go. Okay. So let's go ahead and stand up and shift your weight. Have your feet a little bit wider than your hips and just shift your weight from one side to the next. Balance. So just now feel grounded. Feel as you are shifting your weight from side to side. Feel a connection to the earth. Maybe you start to swing your arms just a little bit. And now you start to feel your spine. So see how when you turn from one side to the other side, visualize your spine twisting and visualize all of the muscles of your torso starting to move. Back to center, take your feet just parallel now to your hips. Reach the arms up and then turning the hands palms down as you lower your arms, grow a little taller. Lifting the arms down, maybe look up. And as you exhale, lower the arms. This one, reach up, let's go to a little bit of a back bend. And then on the exhale, let's dive down very slowly. And when you get down, just hang there, just a little rag down, forward fold. Maybe you reach one arm and then the other arm, working your shoulders a little bit. And then bending your knees. Inhale. Looking up and exhale. Now take your hands just behind you, bend to your knees, reach those hands down, feel your shoulder blades going into your back. As you pull the hands down, let the heart lift, let the head look up, breathe, and maybe sway from side to side a little bit. And then come back to the center. Let's do our shoulders and our neck a little bit. So lifting your shoulders towards your shoulder. Forward, up, back. Forward, up, back. And down. Sliding your shoulder blades down the back towards your chest. Tuck your head from side to side. Very slowly here. You might feel some crunches or you hear audible crunches. Now with your chin, draw circles in the air. Two directions. To the one direction, I'm sorry. And then two. Back to center and shake it all out. And let's find a place that we can sit comfortably. I'm going to move this over here. And my little Sattvic kitty is on my meditation cushion. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to use that right now, my dear. All right, so let's now have a seat. Oops. She loves it. When I first bought it, she took it over. Okay, so let's go ahead and find a nice seat. And I'm going to go ahead and share the screen again here. So go ahead and make yourself comfortable. Sitting on the floor or sitting in a chair, allowing the spine to lift, allowing your sit bones to draw down. Okay, and let's do this little loving kindness meditation.
Allow yourself to get comfortable. Relax your shoulders. Relax your eyes. Relax your jaw. You can be seated or lying down for this meditation. Today we'll be exploring metta, or loving kindness. Through this metta meditation, we'll be exploring the cultivation of feelings of compassion, feelings of loving kindness for yourself and for others. So allow yourself to relax. Notice how your breath feels right now. Simply watch your breath. Notice the texture of your breathing. Notice the rate of your breathing. Notice the depth of your breathing. There's no need to change it. Simply observe. Bring your awareness to your chest, to your heart. Place your awareness there as you continue to watch your breath. Notice what it feels like to breathe into your chest, to breathe into your heart. Simply place all of your awareness right there in the center of your chest. Now slowly and steadily repeat this phrase in your mind. May I be happy. May I be well. May I be comfortable and at peace. May I be happy. May I be well. May I be comfortable and at peace. Continue to repeat these words in your mind and in your heart. Notice any subtle changes in how you feel. May I be happy. May I be well. May I be comfortable and at peace. Continue to breathe into your continue to repeat those words. May I be happy. May I be well. May I be comfortable and at peace. Now bring into your awareness a person who you love dearly. Notice who comes to mind, and keeping an image of this person in your mind's eye, silently repeat these words. May you be happy. May you be well. May you be comfortable and at peace. May you be happy. May you be well. May you be comfortable and at peace. May you be happy. May you be well. May you be comfortable and at peace. Notice how you feel in your chest as you continue repeating those words. May you be happy. May you be well. May you be comfortable and at peace. Bring into your mind more of your loved ones, offering them that same message, that same prayer. May you be happy. May you be well. May you be comfortable and at peace. Notice how you feel right now. Bring into your awareness people who you would consider acquaintances. Bring their image into your mind's eye. And again, repeat these words. May you be happy. May you be well. May you be comfortable and at peace. May you be happy. May you be well. May you be comfortable and at peace. Notice how you feel as you extend loving kindness to acquaintances. Think of someone you have conflict with. Picture this person in your mind's eye. See if you can offer this person the same loving kindness that you've offered to others. May you be happy. May you be well. May you be comfortable and at peace. May you be happy. May you be well. May you be comfortable and at peace. Notice how this feels to offer feelings of love and kindness to someone with whom you have conflict. Let's expand this feeling another step further. Picture the entire human race, male and female, all nations, all cultures, all races, all colors of skin, all sexual orientations, all ages, all heights and weights, all people, all human beings. May we be happy. May we be well. May we be comfortable and at peace. May we be happy. May we be well. May we be comfortable and at peace. Notice how you feel in your heart right now. Notice what is present for you. Spend the next few moments feeling this, noticing this, simply experiencing this feeling right here. Continue to breathe into your heart. Continue to focus your awareness right there in the center of your chest. I invite you to open your eyes, carrying this feeling of loving kindness within you. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Notice how you feel in your body right now. Notice what's present. Carry this feeling of loving kindness with you. Carry this feeling of loving kindness as you interact with others today. May you be happy. May you be well. May you be comfortable and at peace. Blessings.
Enjoy those feelings. So I want to, as I said, show you a video and a show talking about mindfulness and compassionate meditation and leading us in a compassionate meditation. But before we do that, I want to explain about your posts for the next couple of weeks, until the end of the term. I have a new discussion forum that is called Mindfulness Hour. You may recall a few weeks back we talked about mindfulness and we did a little exercise, mindfully eating. I explained at that time that mindfulness is trying to be completely present in whatever you are doing, whether that is making a drawing, writing a letter, doing your homework, cooking, doing dishes, taking a walk, driving, eating with your family, etc. It's so easy for us to put the activities that we are busy in into, just this little category and allowing the rest of our mind to just go on thinking because, as we talked about, our mind has a capacity for a multitude of thoughts, at once. I mean, actually, we can only hold one thought, but there is this kind of jumping around it does. So when you are practicing mindfulness, you are making an attempt to understand what physical sensations you are feeling, what emotional feelings are coming up, what you are seeing, what you are hearing, and to be what we call perfectly present in that moment. It takes a lot of work, it's really easy to get distracted. But the more that we practice mindfulness, the more we can understand how to be compassionate and forgiving, to one another. So I would like to request or invite you to try to do an hour of mindfulness every week. Now, maybe you're just going to do that hour consecutive. You just say, okay, Tuesday night, 6:30, I'm just going to be mindful for an hour. Maybe you break it up into 15-minute segments. And for 4 days, you say, okay, I'm going to be mindful for 15 minutes. And actually look at a clock, and say, my mindfulness practice has begun. And whatever you do during that practice, be present, be very aware. If you're peeling potatoes, if you're giving your dog a bath, if you're driving or walking to work, if you are playing with your children, if you're caring for your parent or anyone who needs care, if you're listening to your friend, whatever you are doing, be very aware, be very present in that. And then in your reflections, share with us what you did during that mindfulness hour. Most people will find that it's easiest to do it, maybe in like 30-minute segments, maybe you do it twice a week. You may find that you want to practice mindfulness every day. Many of you are practicing meditation once a day. Now, meditating is a mindfulness practice to a certain extent, but the thing about mindfulness is that you can bring it off of your meditation cushion and into your life. So that's your homework for the rest of the term as far as your posts. So for beginning with this week, go to the post that says, I'm going to share this screen again to let you know exactly where that is. Here it is. Mindfulness and meditation. Okay. So you can go ahead and read through this, and see if you can. Here I suggested an hour of mindfulness 2 days a week. But do what you can. Okay. I mean, I always, because I do practice a lot of meditation and mindfulness, it's kind of in my habits. But if it is something that you are introducing into your lifestyle, just do what you can. Okay. And then for next week, we will be talking just very briefly about the principles of Ayurveda. So go ahead and look through some of these. You can find what your own dosha is, which is an Ayurveda classification of personality, body type, diet, etc. And then we'll talk about some of these practices, Ayurvedic practices, to keep the body healthy, which can really help to influence your sense of meditation. Okay, so go ahead and take just a moment to stretch a little bit, because I think the PEMA Shadran video is going to take us through the end of our class, which is why I wanted to give this little demonstration or this little explanation first. So go ahead and stretch a little bit, and then we'll get into a comfortable position and we'll give a listen to PEMA.
So being with each other as best as you can.
Oops, I'm sorry, I gotta go back to the beginning. Here we go. And we have student.
Hey guys, welcome to Forward. We're a new type of doctor's office that's providing.
There we
I'd like to introduce the bodhicitta practice, Maitri and Karuna. The actual formal practice of arousing the feeling of Maitri, then letting that radiate out. And in keeping with the three noble principles, I would very sincerely like to make the aspiration this benefits all of us. And in particular, that something begins to transform us. And that transformation leads us from suffering to happiness. And at the most profound level of really beginning to, as a result of this practice, get the notion, what is the root of happiness? What causes it to expand, flower? What causes it to grow rather than to decrease? And beginning to get the actual sense in our everyday life at a non-conceptual level, just at the level of our being. What is it that causes suffering? What is the root of suffering? So that we might be able to speak and act, think, live our lives in a way where suffering for ourselves and others begins to de-escalate, where there's less suffering. I think it's important to realize that we don't evolve alone. These qualities in us, they don't happen in isolation. They happen in relationship to other people. It's love for ourselves and others that causes it to increase. It's compassion for ourselves and others that causes the compassion to increase and suffering to increase. It doesn't happen in isolation. And in that regard, I think it's quite inspiring to realize that doing these practices has a sort of a potential of the 4-minute mind. That if one person can connect with what is the root of happiness and the root of suffering, begin to live their life that way. If one person can connect with this spark of bodhicitta so that it grows, and this capacity to open our minds beyond narrow-mindedness and closed, painfully self-centered views. Even one person can do that. To the degree that one person can do that, it makes it easier for the rest of us. So we evolve together. It is like a 4-minute mind. To the degree that some people are beginning to get the hang of this, you can count on the fact that many other people all over the globe are beginning to get the hang of this. I've noticed this over the years with my spiritual practice in the community, that I would have insights in my meditation, very personal, true, transformative insights, genuine, non-conceptual insights, only to find in my discussions with my friends that they were having the same insights. And then to start reading magazine articles, books and things, see that other people were having the same insights. So it works like that. So don't think that your meager attempt to feel love, to feel compassion is wasted. To the degree that you even aspire to awaken a good heart, a kind heart, to
So, pardon me, but this was somehow YouTube confused my
label your thoughts.
Here we go. This is the one that I really.
So at this point, I'd like to give you the Shamatha Vipassana meditation instruction. It's also called mindfulness awareness meditation. So first, when you sit down, run through the points of posture. Seat as flat and comfortable as possible, not tilting. Your legs folded comfortably in front of you. And your torso relaxed and upright. The main point is that the front of your body is open, not crunched, slumped. Let the heart area be very open. The hands are resting, palms down on your thighs. Eyes are open. And I gaze slightly downward, about 4 to 6 feet in front of you. And the mouth is slightly open. And become aware of your breath as it goes out, ordinary breath. Breath goes out and comes in, but there's more emphasis on the outwards. Letting the breath expand outward in a sense of touching the breath as it goes out and dissolves into the space. Relaxing out. So without struggle, just as best you can, be right here, breath as it expands outward. Just keep coming back to that over and over again, just simply and in a very relaxed way. Just keep coming back. As thoughts arise in your mind, continually arising, thoughts coming and coming again and again. Just as soon as you notice, acknowledge those thoughts in a very relaxed and non-judgmental way by saying to yourself, thinking. Come back again to the out breath. Relaxing outward with the out. Thoughts and emotions can become very solid. But just take the attitude, they're like clouds, vast sky. Notice that you're thinking, acknowledge that. A very relaxed, gentle attitude. Just say thinking and let those clouds dissolve back to the sky. Just sitting here, breathing, relaxing your body and mind. Regarding your thoughts just as clouds, large, vast sky. If your body begins to hurt, don't struggle with that. Sit with it a little longer than you might usually to just feel where the discomfort is. Rather than struggling, you can take the resting posture, putting up your knees and just holding your knees. And you can sit that way for a while until you feel ready to resume sitting posture with the legs folded in front of you. So this is very much a practice of no struggle, practice of relaxing the body, just being here with the immediacy of experience. Sometimes we give the instruction, touch and go. Touch the breath as it goes out and let it go. Touch the thoughts, the label thinking, and let them go. Just again and again, very light touch, very light letting go. Touch and go. This is not a practice of getting rid of thoughts, but rather of gradually, over time, seeing their transparency, seeing that they're not all that solid. So don't try to struggle against the thoughts. Instead, just when you realize you're very relaxed, just touch them and let them go. No struggle, just relax. Relax the mind, relax the body, touch it. To the best of your ability, just keep returning to the In terms of bodhicitta, this practice of shamatha vipassana, mindfulness awareness practice, is very much the ground for causing that seed of compassion and openness that's within us, causing it to grow and flourish, flower. So even though the shamatha vipassana practice is not commonly considered a bodhicitta practice as such, nevertheless, it's very crucial to this practice. When we do specific bodhicitta practices on unlimited friendliness, compassion, such as the aspiration practices that we'll be doing, those are specifically bodhicitta practices. But when we sit and do the shamatha vipassana practice, it's actually no better way to train in unlimited friendliness and compassion than this. We sit here and we're so close to our mind as it goes on and on and on, and our emotions can become extremely solid, stuck, painful. Mind can talk so much that we think we can't stand it, and we have memories, and there's a lot of stuff that goes on. We all sit here looking like these statues of Buddhas, but actually it's like a madhouse. So the point is to begin to see the illusory quality of this madhouse. This is a real journey. This is your life's journey. This isn't something that happens fast, because we're actually talking about the evolution of consciousness. From the beginning of this time, the human species has been caught in static, fixed thinking, and it has affected our bodies and our hearts. Sense of how we concretize and conceptualize everything. It's just part of how we perceive. We're talking about an evolution into a much more fluid and open-ended way of thinking and of being. Just to say, beginning to realize the true nature of our being and of all creation. In some sense of two beginning to merge and join, other than that we have separated ourselves out. Think of ourselves as isolated, separate. So it's a big job. Some people might even say it's asking too much. Think of it. You have a lifetime. Even if you live to be 100 years old, it's really a very short time. So why not spend it undergoing this process of evolution, opening the mind and heart, connecting with your true nature, rather than getting better and better at fixating, grasping, hardening, freezing, closing in. So really, we do have that choice. And fortunately, there's this whole body of teachings and practices which support the choice towards wanting to be alive rather than frozen and cut off. So remember, when we're practicing, that it is a practice of cultivating unlimited friendliness towards yourself. So when you get harsh with yourself, when you start criticizing yourself into a struggle, just remember, like, it's not like a goal you're trying to achieve of no more thoughts or with every outbreath. There's simply a technique which is meant to help you to relax, open the mind, so that it can relax into its true state. Relax the body, relax the heart, the whole thing. Relax and open into its true state, its true nature. It's very much a process of getting to know how we limit ourselves, getting to know how we do shut down and so forth. Seeing that compassionately. So don't think that all that discursive thought that you do hour after hour is just going to waste. It's actually getting to know the nature of the mind as it closes down, shuts off, getting to know your patterns, getting to know your habits. Remember that you're getting to know them with compassionate attitude. So if you find yourself criticizing yourself, just lighten up on that. And so we're taming the mind, training the mind to relax more and more to that open-ended, spacious dimension. The open-ended, spacious dimension, relaxed dimension of being. So you might have a concept of what you think bodhicitta or openness, what you think that is. But this is somehow training again and again, just relaxing those concepts, let them go. Just trust your experience of all caught up, and your experience of relaxation. So in that way, this practice is the means by which gradually people like ourselves can begin to have more and more ordinary everyday experience of the openness and spaciousness of our minds. So just let it evolve as it evolves. Don't have it be something you're striving for or think that it's how you're supposed to be. You just are as you are. Relax with that. That's your starting point. Get to know.
So, Mandy, I would like to lead you in a short yoga nidra because there is a full moon tomorrow. And as you recall, yoga nidra is the yoga deep sleep. So it's best to practice this on your back, lying down. If you can practice it sitting, but make sure that you are very, very comfortable. I'm going to go ahead and share the screen with a mandala. So go ahead and find a place where you are comfortable. Here we go. So allow yourself to become very comfortable if you are lying down. I suggest that you put a little cushion underneath your head and maybe something beneath your legs as well. If you are sitting, you can lean back in your chair. Try to be symmetrical in your body. And now let your body sink. Get comfortable. Shift and move a little to let your body settle. Be comforted that at this time, everything is okay. Nothing else matters right now. Everything is okay. You're here to simply feel your body and listen. If you don't hear everything I say, don't worry or become agitated. It's natural to flow in and out of conscious hearing. The deepest part of you, your core self, is always listening. Whatever your experience today, this practice will still work. There is no way to do this wrong. Simply listen without trying too hard. Feel your natural breath. Feel your breath flowing through you. On each inhale, say to yourself the word so. Each exhale, say to yourself the word home. So, home. So, home. Take a moment now to set an intention for this practice and for your life. Frame this intention as a positive statement in the present tense. For example, rather than I will be relaxed or I will not be stressed out, say with feeling something like I'll flow through life with ease and peace. I am relaxed. Come up with your own intention and state it 3 times as though it is already happening. Now let your consciousness move through your body as I guide you. On to the next when I prompt you. Bring your awareness to your right thumb and deeply relax the right thumb. Relax the right index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and small finger. Relax the palm of the right hand, right wrist and elbow, right shoulder and armpit. Relax the right side body, the right hip and groin, top of the knee, back of the knee, right ankle, sole of the right foot, big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and small toe. Bring your awareness to your left thumb and deeply relax your left thumb. Left index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and small finger. Palm of the hand, wrist, left elbow, shoulder, left armpit and chest, side body, hip and groin, back of the left knee, top of the knee, left ankle, and sole of the left foot, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and small toe. Relax the whole left side of the body. Relax the whole right side of the body. Feel your breath in your belly. Feel your breath in your heart. Feel your breath in your throat. Now notice that space between the eyebrows and allow your breath to rest there at the eyebrows. Rest the breath at the throat. Rest the breath at the heart center. This is the center of your emotional well-being. Allow your breath to bring healing energy into your body, into your mind. Remember now the intention that you set at the beginning of this neutral practice. Say it to yourself as though it is already happening now. Inhale it again and again. Gently touch the tips of your thumbs to the tips of your fingers. Slowly awakening sensation. Move your hands. Wiggle your toes. Notice the space around you. And notice the quietness of that space. Gradually awaken the body. If you're lying, slowly come up to sit. And when you're ready, open your eyes. The practice of yoga nidra is complete. That concludes our practice for this morning. Have a really wonderful week.
You too. Thank you.
Have a great week.
Bye.
Bye.